Hello, Shaker Heights varsity softball fans. Welcome back into the Bond Elementary School softball field where your Red Raiders will be taking on the Mustangs of Strongsville High School. Shaker Heights entering into this one are actually technically on a losing streak. They come off of their loss on Friday to the Solon Comets. 11-5 was your final. Shaker Heights was looking to have a very good game against Solon, looking to make it a lot more competitive than it was in the very end. 11-5 was your final. The Comets won against the Red Raiders, and the reason being, well, we were talking to head coach Victoria Rosen about it, and she told us it was a matter of errors. 6 defensive errors led to that 6-run differential, and Shaker as a whole, however, comes into this one needing to let that go. They come in knowing that they can beat this Strongsville team. They've beat them before out at their home field. They beat them 4-2. It was a very, very close game. I know a lot of the games that we have covered have been mercy rule games through 5 innings. That's when they call it, but that's going to be a different situation. At least that's what we're hoping for here today. Again, 4-2 your final last time with Scout Harvey as your pitcher. She's back out on the mound, and we can tell you more as the game gets going. We'll send you down. Don't get it twisted. Both teams in black uniforms, one with red accents and white accents, one with green and white accents. First pitch from Harvey is low and tight to your first batter of the ball game. Shaker Heights on a 1-game losing streak, so it isn't really that much of a streak, but Shaker come into a very, very new week with a new idea. This week, well, you're in the OHSAA postseason. This one tapped over to the left side, handled and thrown on to first. That time, it was, I believe, that's Fogarty on to Armstrong. Let me get that lineup for you out there in the outfield. Of course, as we said, pitching today is going to be Harvey. Back behind the dish, as always, is Juliana Gentili. In the infield, indeed, that was the case, as Armstrong is over there at first. At second is Chevreau. This one popped up. Gentili with an easy catch right into the basket as it's popped up and making the grab into the glove. So 2 quick outs on 3 pitches. The Red Raiders with a little bit of a simple start to things. But to finish off the defensive lineup for you out there at shortstop is Emerson Miller. And over at third, Melanie Fogarty, who made that first out happen. We'll get to the outfield in the second after this pitch. That one outside, ball 1. Out in the outfield from left to right, we're looking at Molly Milligan. Eleanor Miller, of course, back out at center. And right field, we're looking at Harper Thornton. Here's the pitch. That's in there. Good pitch from Scout Harvey right there on the outside half. Just clipped the line of the strike zone, and Shaker Heights has the batter Hartman at 1-1. Now this one misses low and away as well. We go to a 2-1. Harvey entering into this one. Once again, a phenomenal pitching performance out of her is what Shaker Heights is going to need. She'll grab the swing and miss there. With 3 quick outs, Shaker would love to get an early start to things on offense, take an early lead. This pitch is up high, and we go full. This toss back over to Harvey is actually going to go out into center field. They'll deliver that one back. No runners on, so no trouble with that. For the current time being, Harvey has pitched 68 innings. Excuse me, never mind. This one fouled over the left side. Ooh, bangs right off of a window off the back seat. Ooh. As always, we'll say this at the baseball field, that you shouldn't be parking over there. That is not your smart decision. This one tapped right past the glove of Harvey. It'll escape out into center as it's sent up the middle. And Shaker Heights now has a runner on with 2 outs. But yeah, Harvey at this point has pitched 96 innings out of the 108 in total. One of the Strongsville fans making sure that that was not her car. That was a hit by the softball. But yeah, Shaker Heights, they had a 5-game winning streak. Here, a swing and a miss. Again, with 1 runner on, Shaker would love a good old out here to try and get out of the spot. Of course, 1 runner on isn't too big of a deal when she's over at first, but this one inside. 1-1 to Musar. 0-0 your scores. We're just getting things started here in the top of the first inning. That next offering is going to be upstairs. chin level that time to number 6, Musar. But still in the middle if we're looking at the actual inside-outside trajectory. This one up and unable to make the grab that time is Chevreau. And here's the throw on the third. That's going to be there. The throw from Miller will get the tag in the out. And Fogarty and Miller amped up after that one. And Shaker Heights with a big timeout, number 3, over at third. You always hear it, at least in baseball, you can't let your first or third out be at home nor over at third. But that's exactly what happened here in the top of the first. We are caught at a 0-0 tied affair, but Shaker Heights with their first response. We'll see how it goes with due-up being Melanie Fogarty, Emerson Miller, and Eleanor Miller. We'll be right back with you for the bottom of this first inning. Shaker Heights now up on offense, looking to respond, looking to try and take a lead early on in this thing. And here Fogarty will swing at the first one. It's popped foul over to the right side as it's going to hit some of the trees and fall down. Won't hit anybody, nor a car as we go to the right side, near that playground of Lomond Elementary. But again, over that left side, parked cars galore. Just not your smartest choice of placement. This one, weak contact, fouled over to the left side. It'll drop down foul. And already in an 0 spot is Fogarty. Fogarty, for the current time being, is looking at a batting average of 400. Decent average for the leadoff bat. Here, Hartman is your pitcher. The next one from her gets way away. This is quite low and outside. Easy take that time for Fogarty. Behind her in the order, we're looking, as we said, Emerson Miller and Eleanor Miller, your 2 and 3 as usual. Molly Milligan in the 4 spot with Scout Harvey in the middle of the order at number 5. Juliana Gentili, Amelia Chevreau are 6 and 7. And capping off the order, we're looking at Reagan Armstrong and Harper Thornton. Bit of a different lineup change as we're seeing Armstrong in the lower part, but we were also talking to Rosen a little bit before this game. She's trying to diversify. Ooh, tough called. Strike 3. And Fogarty going to go down looking on that one. But as we were saying, Rosen wants to try and spread some of the talent, try to spread, considering the bottom of the order has been a little shaky over these past couple of games. So that's the strategy from Rosen. It's just try and help out, try to make these batting order changes. Not because anybody in specific is performing poorly or better. This one lined out, and that's going to get out there down in the right center. Rounding first here is Emerson Miller with the slide in to second. Miller is going to be in scoring position with only 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Good start to Emerson Miller's day. Has been an absolute weapon through the bat to this point. Right now, we are looking at a batting average of .525 entering into today. And hopefully Eleanor Miller can follow up with a good performance. But as this one gets away from the catcher, it's going to be Emerson Miller moving 60 feet forward, all the way up to third. So now just a sacrifice fly will score the Red Raiders' first hit of the ballgame. Eleanor Miller on this next one from Hartman sends this one deep out into center. It's caught over the head of the center fielder, but tagging up from third is Emerson Miller. So Eleanor Miller will get the RBI, and Shaker Heights is first on the board. 1-0 goes your score early on in this one. Bottom of the first, 1-0. Shaker Heights on top here at their home base. Molly Milligan to follow up. 2 down, base is empty for her now, but of course now a 1-0 score to the advantage of her squad. She'll step in really to the front of the batter's box. And that next pitch is, catching on the outside half. Bit of a wider strike zone early on from the home plate umpire, but as long as he's consistent, it's up to both teams to adjust. Here's that 0-1 here to Milligan. This one is going to be down low. Milligan right now also one of those better bats for Shaker Heights as she's moved up and really earned her spot up into the 125 position. This one outside. Wish I could give you an average, but the game changer is kind of broken with Molly Milligan. It has her separated in 2 different players. One has an average of 125. One has an average of 519. I assume that's just due to the difference in jersey number compared to the different uniforms. This one's up high. Good hold off. And we work our way to a 3-1 count after taking that first one as a strike. So Shaker Heights already up 1-0. Milligan, someone that's hit some home runs here. See if she can get something on the 3-1. She takes a hit on this one. That can bloop down, and indeed it will. Out there in the left field. As Molly Milligan will keep the inning alive with a bloop single out to left. 1-0 your score here in the bottom of the first. Shaker Heights with the early lead. Hartman to 14 pitches to this point. Through the first 14, we're looking at 9 strikes, so not a bad ratio to start things off. Harvey. Now your bat. This pitch outside. Milligan bolts back over to first before a throw is made by Musar. Musar, your catcher here today, out in the outfield. In the infield, we have Arndt Dara at second. Here, this next one escapes. Milligan gonna bolt over to second easily without a throw. Shaker Heights once again threatening with a runner in scoring position. 2 down here. Also out in the infield, Mraz is over at shortstop and Clough is over at third. Bryan and Grozen, your right and left fielders, don't have a name for the center fielder. Once we get one, I'll let you know. This pitch up high. Taken by Harvey. That is plenty of balls now thrown by Hartman. A lot more coming through in these last couple of ABs. Excuse me, here's the pitch. This one outside. Taken for ball 4. Excuse me, I had that ratio incorrect earlier. Now we're looking first 18 pitches, only 8 hitting the strike zone for Hartman. Though she did rack up a strikeout there for out number 1 since then, letting 2 hits come across. And now just 1 walk. Rosen coming in here, talking to the home plate umpire. Not necessarily sure what about. Maybe a change in the order. No, we're getting a pinch runner out there for the Red Raiders, courtesy to the pitcher, Harvey. So Harvey comes out, in comes Cora Bissett. So Bissett now over on first. Milligan remains put at second. RBI chance here for Gentili. Hartman, your Strongsville pitcher, with pitch number 19. The first one Gentili sees, and this one up and away for ball 1. Multiple balls in a row now thrown thrown by Hartman. That's now 5 straight. Could this be 6? We're about to find out, and indeed it will be. Bissett returns over to first. Milligan over at second. 6 straight balls now thrown from Hartman. Gentili on this one. Gonna watch number 7 on home plate and bounce its way over to Musar, the catcher for the Mustangs to this point. Bottom of the first, 1-0 your score. Shaker Heights in the lead with 2 down, and now another 3-0 count. You can imagine she'll take here, but you never know. And that pitch, that's ball 4. Wow, so make that now 8 straight balls thrown. Struggling to find the zone now, and now it looks like we're going to get a courtesy runner out for Gentili, as she's her catcher in today's game, and indeed we're going to. Milgram coming in over at first. Bases loaded now with 2 away. 1-0 Shaker on top. Got that first run to come in through a sacrifice fly. Eleanor Miller hit it out to center field. Scoring from third was Emerson Miller. Amelia Chevreau, your batter, the sophomore, in the RBI position here. First pitch to her, that's not going to catch. Just a bit up high, maybe a little bit away, but he's been calling that a way strike, so I can't imagine that was it. Must have had too much elevation on it, and it goes 1-0. Amelia Chevreau cannot force a hit here. Got to wait for a pitch. That's where she wants it, in her hitting range. This ball thrown off target back to Hartman from Musar. Dara able to keep it in on the infield, so Milligan stays put over at third. With the pinch runners, we have Milligan, who isn't a pinch runner. She's over at third, but the 2 pinch runners are Bissett at second and Milgram over at first. This one down low, 3-0. Goes your count. And now here, the throw home, but sliding in safe is Milligan, as unable to make the grab there was the catcher. But here, tagged out over at third is Bissett, and Shaker Heights will score 2. That first run, or I suppose that second run, will count there. But after the bottom of the first, Shaker Heights will be coming back out on defense. Scout Harvey with a good start to her outing, only allowing 2 hits but 0 runs to come across. We'll see if that remains when we come back. 2-0. Shaker leads as we go into the top of the second. First pitch here on the top of the second. Misses the mark, but then this next pitch is cut on and fouled away over to the right side. Ooh, that had a lot of power behind it. Just barely misses one of the elementary schoolers. Still over here at the playground. I assume their school would have ended around the 3 o'clock mark, but still some of these kids out here making do with their Monday afternoon. Good weather out here. Started off a very sunny day. That next one misses up and away. It's become a little bit more overcast, but still just very, very warm. Here's that next pitch. This one fouled over to the right once again, and it'll hit off a tree before it makes its way to the playground. 2-2, even count off of 2 fouls and 2 ones missing the mark. But yeah, your game temperature right now, we're looking at 79 degrees. So not exactly the way it has been, but Shaker Heights, nor I would imagine Strongsville, not at all complaining. Ooh, this one down low, 3-2. Goes the count. Nobody out just yet, but a payoff pitch to be delivered in just a moment here to the first Mustangs bat in the top of the second. This next pitch cut on. This one sent off of the glove of Miller. Here's the throw on the first, but it'll just be beaten out by the runner, Heidenhofer. Reaching first is Heidenhofer. The throw actually came from Chevreau. They were both just standing on second, fumbling for the softball. Eventually, it's taken in by Chevreau, but the throw just wasn't there in time. So Clough, your third baseman here today, is taking this first one right down Broadway. Number 4 on the back of the black jersey. Again, green numbers instead of red for Shaker Heights. It's the same kind of look. The main difference just being the difference in red and green. This one tapped in front of Milligan. The throw back into the infield is quick, but your first 2 runners on here for Strongsville early in this second inning. Clough on first, Heidenhofer over there at second. Nobody out. Harvey right now up to 21 pitches, 13 hitting the zone, 8 missing the mark. Here's that pitch, and here they're showing bunt, tapped over to Harvey. Harvey with a quick throw on the first. There's out number 1. Clough moving from first to second, Heidenhofer up to third. And so now your tying runs are in scoring position here in the second. Only 1 out, that being your first. Brian now the batter, number 12. First pitch, they're showing bunt once again. This one, however, going to be fouled over the left side. Surprising move for a bunt with first base empty and the runner over at third, but now you can imagine the infield might try to move in a little bit further. And indeed, Fogarty will do just that. She's over at third. And here, bunt once again, pulls back. Ooh, just in time. Good pitch from Scout Harvey, however, but ruled ball 1. 1-1 the count with 1 away. Runners on first and second here in the top of the second. And this one fouled over to the right side. That's tough. Here's the out will be made with the flip from Harvey. And good defensive effort, but still a run will score on the bunt from Grozen. 2-1 goes your score now. And now we go to the bottom of the order in the form of number 11, Dara, your second baseman in today's game for the Mustangs. Runner in scoring position as there's still that tying run over at third. Here's that pitch, showing bunt again. This one's sent down the third baseline, goes foul. They're really loving the bunt. And now with 2 away, they're still trying for the bunt. If they get that out over at first once again, that's the end of the inning. I suppose getting the sign here is Dara. Having to check the wristband to check what it meant, and eventually she'll get it. Here, bunt once again. Apparently held the bunt back just in time. 2-0 goes the count now to Dara. 2 down, runner at third is Clough. Another bunt, this one way up. Here Harvey with the flip on the first will be there. And that run will not count there at home off of the force out. So here in the top of the second, Shaker Heights still with the lead. It's 2-1, however, so they could use some insurance runs when we come back. Due up for the Red Raiders is going to be that bottom of the order. Amelia Chevreau, Reagan Armstrong, and Harper Thornton. we left. Your 7, 8, 9 bats coming up for Shaker Heights. So bottom of the order we go here. Chevreau, that first bat. Here's the pitch, up and away. A lot of balls thrown early on from Hartman. We saw, I believe it was just about 12 straight.
Let's go, Amelia. Lessons learned. You know what to do.
But Shaker Heights, fortunately, forced out of the inning. That one up high, 2-0 to Chevreau. Was forced out of the inning off of a tag applied to Bissett. Third. That was your third out. Just getting a little too greedy on the base paths. That pitch, ooh, up high once again. Starting to call it a lot tighter as the home plate umpire. 3-0 count. Now Chevreau's got to be picky on her pitch. And this one right down the middle. That's going to be there for strike one. But on a 3-0, again, coaches are never really going to encourage you to swing at those, whether it's baseball, softball, JV baseball, whatever it is. Here's that 3-1. That's also right there. Those last two, very, very hittable stuff. Just not pulling the trigger. Is Chevreau was actually up at the plate when Shaker was on that third out. This one popped up. That'll just drop in front of the center fielder for the Mustangs. Another bloop single for the Red Raiders. That'll get their lead-off runner aboard in the form of Amelia Chevreau. Armstrong here, number 27. Digging in here, Reagan Armstrong, your first baseman in today's game. We've typically called Armstrong as more of a designated hitter, but today, actually in the field. Here a swing and a miss from the left-handed bat. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Not something we're going to see too much, and it's actually to the disadvantage of the batter. Here's that lefty-lefty. Holding back here is Armstrong. Armstrong thought about it, had the bat going, but held back. 1-1, your count. 2-1, your score. Shaker in the lead in the bottom of the second inning. Here's that third pitch of the AB. That's there. Armstrong takes the hack at it. Armstrong to this point in time batting at a .340 average across the 20 regular season games. And that next pitch, this one's popped up, and shortstop will be there to handle it. Mraz there with out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. Shaker got that leadoff runner on. They would love to get a little bit of insurance. It's up to Harper Thornton here at the bottom of the order. Number 9 in set order, number 36, or actually number 40 on the back of the black jerseys. I believe it's 36 on the red ones. Right fielder in today's game here. She shows bunt, but it taps off the foot and goes back to the backstop. No defensive errors just yet from either side. Good news for Shaker Heights. Again, that was really the losing recipe in that game against Solon. That was their last game on Friday. Had the weekend off. And now here, hopefully able to lock back in on the infield, where I believe majority of those defensive errors are. That last one caught on the outside corner. 0-2 goes the count. That next pitch. Oh, that is a tough call. Thornton takes that one for strike 3 and out number 2. We go to back to the top of the order. Melanie Fogarty here. Fogarty started off things with a strikeout. This one fouled back into the caging behind home plate, and that one gets stuck up into the said caging. I don't know how that got stuck.
Keep it going, Emma, keep it going.
Weird.
Come on, Mustangs.
Odds of that are very, very low. 0-1 now to Fogarty, catches on the outside corner. So now Hartman's attacking that half of the zone. Through 40 pitches, Hartman's looking at 19 strikes. Was really struggling early on to find said zone, but now she's finding her spot. This one fouled back over. And Now with 2 balls out of play, with 1 out in foul territory over the playground and 1 caught up there into the caging. We're getting a new ball delivered, and eventually we'll get it, and we'll get back to play. 0 for 1, as we said, is Fogarty to start things off. Struck out, but Shaker Heights was still able to push across 2 there in the bottom of the first inning. This next one up and away. Good hold from Fogarty on the 0-2 pitch. Moves it to 1-2. Chevreau still aboard over at first. Got the bloop single her first time up. Shaker doesn't want to leave that leadoff runner stranded. This one popped up over behind and over near the bleachers. Fogarty now playing a little bit of defense on offense, protecting, making sure she stays up at the plate. Looking to not drop to 0 for 2. Looking to not let that leadoff runner be stranded. Here's the pitch. This one popped up on the infield. First baseman gets under it, and Arndt makes the grab for out number 3. So indeed, Chevreau is left stranded as the leadoff hit is blooped out in the center field, but unfortunately she stays put for the entirety of said inning. So here, after 2-1 is your score. Shaker Heights on top, and as we go to the top of the 3rd, Strongsville will try to tie things up, maybe take the if they can. We'll be back with you. Two-1, Shaker Heights in the lead here as we go to the top of the 3rd. First pitch right there, but held off by the batter number 15 of the Mustangs. Polo, said batter. Polo, your leadoff bat, and tapped right back over to Harvey. Harvey with a low throw. But making that grab down low there was Armstrong. And out number 1 on 2 pitches is reached here in the top of the 3rd. 2-1, Shaker in the lead. Harvey's back out on the mound. 30 pitches down. We're looking at 19 strikes. So not your typical ratio we can see of Harvey. Harvey typically just laying on pitches in the zone. Here another one missing here to Mraz. Mraz, the shortstop for Strongsville. This one sent over to the other shortstop, and Miller with the throw on the first. It's there. And so 2 quick grounders on 4 pitches. 2 pitches each, and Shaker is looking at a quick top of the 3rd. They have the lead. They would love to keep the score where it is. If it's not, they're either going to be back into a deadlock at 2-2, or they could fall. But now with 2 outs, it's looking less and less likely. This one fouled back into the caging here from Hartman. Hartman, your batter, is your pitcher, actually. Started things off 1 for 1. So did the 2 behind her. So your 3, 4, 5 batters here for Strongsville. Off to a good start. We'll see if any of them can start off 2 for 2. Harvey looking for that 3rd out, though. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And this one's sent over the left side. Miller on a great one-up, and the throw on a first is there. And Shaker Heights with a great defensive inning here in the top of the 3rd. 2 plays from Emerson Miller one from Scout Harvey. All ground outs, not leaving the infield at this point. Great work by Harvey on the mound, and Shaker Heights keeps this one a 2-1 score with Shaker Heights on top as we go to the bottom of the third. Shaker Heights back up to bat here with Emerson Miller. Miller, your first run of the ball game for either side. Shaker, of course, however, has the joy of having her as their own. 2-1, Shaker Heights in the lead as we begin things in the bottom of the third. Shaker Heights with their runs coming from, as we said, right here, Emerson Miller, your other run coming in from Milligan with a slide in home. They're all runs for Shaker Heights coming in the bottom of the first. We'll see what we can get here in the bottom of the third. They're held scoreless with the lower part of their order. But now Shaker Heights with a lethal 2-3-4 in their batting order. This one fouled over to the right side, and no one hit, luckily, over as this one goes over to the playground once more. So now it's going to be Emerson Miller on a 2-1. And this next one lined over to the right side. That's going to get through right by the first baseman, and Miller is once again aboard, going 2 for 2 to this point. Eleanor Miller actually 0 for 0 technically, as she went out on a sacrifice fly. Had a lot of power behind it, forced the center fielder Polo to range back, but got the job done. This one fouled back into the caging. It's about that spot where the softball got stuck before. It doesn't this time. Softball was released out from the caging, courtesy of Juliana Gentili, who used another softball to try to knock it out. Here, Eleanor Miller in another spot to try and move Emerson further into scoring position. This one low and away. The throw down to second, not going to be there. Standing is Emerson Miller. Great hustle out of Miller, and now it's an RBI situation with the out.
All right, here we go, Emma.
We'll see what the Red Raiders can do with this opportunity. Next pitch outside. 3-1 goes the count now. Here to Miller, 2-1 goes the count here to Miller. Was able to get the RBI last time on a sacrifice. If you're looking to move up Emerson Miller further, we're looking at one to the opposite field. This one, a high swing and a miss from Eleanor Miller. Here's that 2-2 pitch, and Miller fouls this one over to the right. Man, they could use a screen over there. Try to protect these kids over on the playground. Luckily, nobody's gotten hit just yet. That outside edge still the attacking point for Hartman early in the game. That next pitch is way up and over the head of the umpire even, and Emerson Miller will move up 60 further. Deeper into scoring position, she goes up to third. So it'll be interesting to see the approach on another full count. Pitch and a swing and a miss on upstairs cheese. And unfortunately this time Miller unable to get that RBI. Molly Milligan, however, started off her day 1 for 1, came across all the way through the diamond to come and score. We'll see what Milliken can do this time. The junior up here in the cleanup spot. This one, ooh, almost hit the shaker photographer Gary Adams. Just missed the head. And rolled back in over to the playground. Again, netting might not be the worst idea here at the Shaker Heights softball field. Elementary too. I mean, it makes sense, wouldn't it? Here the next pitch, once again a little bit up high, takes the swing and the miss, and an 0-2 hole finds Milligan. Once again, we're looking at an interesting approach here. Can't swing at just anything. Gotta wait for your pitch here. We'll see what kind of patience we get in this one. Ooh, just barely missing. Maybe a little elevated, maybe a little outside, though we've seen that call before.
You and the ball here, Molly. Be choosy and drive one.
And now this next one fouled back into the caging behind home plate. Emerson Miller's still aboard. She's over at third for the current time being. Miller then struck out on a payoff pitch. Milligan fighting here as she fouled that two-strike pitch off into the back. And so now on a 1-2, this one's fouled back once again. Remains 1-2. Milligan very, very disciplined out on the mound right now. Fighting off good pitches, just unable to make that good contact right now. We'll see what she can do on this time. This one, that might have hit her had she not taken the hack at it. Regardless, it's fouled to the left side. I thought that would have ran in and actually gotten her.
Way to turn on it, Molly.
But she turned on it, made the hack happen. And worse still kept at a 1-2. Milligan there, another 1-2. That's upstairs. Easy take. That time for Milligan. 2-2. Long AB.
Here we go, Emma. Here we go.
Emma Hartman checks the wristband, checks the sign, takes the pitch. This is outside and low. Oh, man. So we have ourselves a little bit of a countdown here, as it's going to be 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner still aboard at third. It's Emerson Miller. That pitch is upstairs. And that's got to be tough as a pitcher to give up that walk. That was an incredible battle between both sides, but as a pitcher, that's just got to maybe sting a little bit. Try and give up that runner after a long, long AB. Well, now we're getting another pitch signal confusion out of the pitcher, but we're going to find it once again. And now here, bolting here is Milligan. Caught in a rundown here is Emerson Miller, but the throw goes awry, so moving from corner to corner is Milligan. She's over at third, but Emerson Miller scores her second of the game. 3-1 moves your score. So Shaker right now looking for some good pitches. They need good pitches right now. Because right now Hartman just hasn't been delivering too many. That one is just not going to catch on the outside bit. 3-1. Shaker now in the lead. In scoring position over at third now is Milligan. This one gonna get away. Milligan gonna bolt home and easily scoring. So it goes 4-1. Shaker Heights with a beauty of an inning out of this. 4-1. Now your score. 2 runs coming across in the first. Now 2 here in the third. Strongsville gonna need some response. In our last game, we saw 4-2 your final with Shaker Heights getting the victory in Strongsville. This one lined up the middle. That one going to get through over in the left center. Harvey going to round first, but stay put on the one-out single. She is aboard. How about it? Shaker Heights with a great bottom of the third. Great watch there. Great hack on a 3-0, and now it looks like we're going to get a mound visit out of the Mustangs. And it looks like we're going to get a full pitching change. So we're going to step aside for a bit here, as it's now a 4-1 score. Shaker Heights in the lead. After 7 outs, they'll take out Hartman. But now, yeah, as we get that pitching change, we step aside. 4-1, Shaker in the lead in the bottom of the third. This pitch, a lot of speed on it, but this one's up and away, and taking second on the pitch there is Harvey. So once again, Shaker Heights has another batter in an RBI position here. Gentili into the right-handed batter's box, backing up a lot from home plate. This pitch up high. New pitcher is Heidenhofer, and that's actually their ace, Strongsville. And right now, Heidenhofer has an ERA of 1.997. This one once again up. So they had Hartman on, who had the ERA of 10.5, but now they have the pitcher with an ERA under 2. And this one's sent over to the left side. Mishandled by the third baseman. Gentili going to book it over to first. She'll be safe. And over at third, applying the tag. Oh, the ball going to get away. So Harvey now going to book it 60 feet further up to home. And Gentili going to reach second. 5-1 now goes their score. Won't go as an earned run to Heidenhofer. It'll go as the earned run to Hartman. But regardless, Shaker Heights now with a 4-run lead. More runs than they scored throughout the entirety of the game out in Strongsville. So right now they're in a good position with the way Harvey's pitching, with the way the defense is handling it behind her. It's looking like Shaker Heights is in a winning recipe. Chevreau 1 for 1 with a bloop single out in the center. 1 out here with a runner on second in the form of Juliana Gentili. This one right down the middle. This one popped foul over to the right side. Not enough to get over to the playground. No one really in danger that time. 5-1 in the lead after now a 3-run third inning. 2-strike pitch here to Chevreau. Called strike 3 on the outside half. And so Chevreau will be heading back over to the dugout. So that's out number 2 here in the bottom of the third. Heidenhofer again. Seems to be your much more consistently well-pitched pitcher. I mean, if we're comparing the stats between her and the starter, there are plenty of differences, including the innings pitched. Here's that next pitch here. Armstrong with a swing and a miss in tight. But yeah, Heidenhofer, 85 innings pitched and a third from Heidenhofer. The person who was starting only had 18. That next pitch, catching on the outside half. Great pitches so far out of Heidenhofer. Heidenhofer, however, has allowed 24 earned runs across, but 68 in total. So mainly it's been an issue of defense. This one lined out in the right. That's just going to drop foul. Great piece of contact out of Armstrong. Just unable to stay fair as it curled past the line. So an 0-2 spot for Armstrong again. Great foul away, keeping it fighting. If you would call that fighting, I mean, that was a great swing. And this one just up high. Good takeout, Armstrong. Reagan Armstrong, 0 for 1 to start things off.
All right, Eddie, come on, Eddie, you got this.
Here's that pitch. This one tapped foul over to the right side once again. First baseman Hartman going to go ahead and grab it. Hartman, your pitcher, now turned first baseman. Originally, I'm not sure who your first baseman was. It might have been Heidenhofer. This one up high once again. And it evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 5-1, Shaker Heights in the lead. They have a runner on second here as they're going to threaten for more runs to come across and take more extensively. That one up high again. So from 0-2 to a full count. It's going to be a tough pitch coming up. Here's that pitch. Down low. Ball 4. From an 0-2 count and a foul. After that to 4 straight, missing the mark. Armstrong going to reach first, and this inning's kept alive as we go to the very bottom of the order in the form of Harper Thornton, the sophomore, digging in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch is lined foul over to the right side. Thornton 0 for 1 to start things off, struck out her first time. 5 hits for Shaker Heights to this point. Strongsville with 4. The main difference, Strongsville with 4 defensive errors. Up high once again on Thornton. 1-1 even count. On first is Armstrong. Runner on second right now is Marissa Milgram, as she came in the pinch run for Juliana Gentili, courtesy to the catcher with 2 down. As she can get her equipment on in a more timely fashion. This one fouled back once again, 1-2. Now the count. Heidenhofer now to 19 pitches, 20 to be on its way in just a moment here. Shaker with a 4-run lead now. Here's that pitch. Ooh, in tight. Ooh, called. As strike 3. And Thornton going to head back into the dugout after going 0 for 2 with now 2 strikeouts. So Shaker through 3 has the lead by 4. 5-1 your score. 2 runs coming across for Shaker in the first, 1 for Strongsville in the second, and 3 for Shaker in the third. We'll see if Strongsville can respond as they did before. through 3. Shaker Heights with a 4-run lead, 5-1 being said score. But last time Shaker Heights scored runs in the bottom of an inning, the next top of an inning, was Strongsville able to get at least half of that. As last time Shaker scored 2, then coming in was Strongsville with one of their own. We'll see how they can respond this time around. This first, here to the batter, Musar, the catcher for Strongsville to this point. Pretty small catcher, but good reaction time. This one up high once more. 3-0 to start things off here in the top of the 4th. Harvey coming out a little inaccurate, but hopefully able to slow it down. Here's that 3-0. That's going to be right there. But as always here in high school ball, taking all the way was Musar. 1 for 1 with a single her first time up. And a swing and a miss. Got her chasing low and outside. And so Shaker is in a much better position than it was. 1 ball away, but now 1 strike away from ending SAB. This one's sent over the left side, just foul as it curls to the left. 5-1, Shaker Heights is in the lead with 3 runs coming across there in the last half inning. As we said though, Strongsville responded all right last time. We'll see how they can this time. One sent down the third base line, just foul once again. Though great contact out of Musar, also a good pitch out of Harvey. 41 pitches down, 26 strikes is what we're looking at from Scout Harvey through 12 batters faced, this being her 13th. 1 run, that run being earned on 4 hits. No walks, no hit by pitch. This one sent up the middle, however, and that one going to be just sneaking through the glove of Amelia Chevreau. Not sure if they'll rule that an error or as a hit, though more than likely a hit, as that was just an awkward placement there for Chevreau, and Musar will reach as as the leadoff runner here in the top of the 4th. The middle inning here. And they give courtesy to the catcher, so they get a pinch runner on. First pitch of the new AB. This one sent over to the right side, just foul, just out of the reach of Armstrong, trying to range over to her left and make that grab just as the mark. Heidenhofer, your relief pitcher for Strongsville, now up at the plate. Sestito, the pinch at first. Here's that pitch. That's going to catch inside and low. There for strike number 2. 0-2 goes the count here. Pitcher v. pitcher. That next offering from Harvey is upstairs. High level that time to Heidenhofer. 1 for 1 to start things off. Came around to score as the 1 earned run against Harvey. Here's this one low and inside, taking the swing. Here's the force out at first and the throw on the, the force out at second and the throw on the first was not in time. So it'll go as a fielder's choice there for Heidenhofer. And a run will remain over at first. First pitch of the new AB. This one hard contact out in the left field. Handling it here is Milligan. Quick throw into third would have had Sestito, but she stays put over at second. So 1 down, top of the 4th. Strongsville seems to be threatening a little bit here. Clough aboard now over at first. Heidenhofer at second. Again, she reached on the fielder's choice. That got Sestito out. So, excuse me. I had that wrong earlier. Heidenhofer at second with Clough over at first. Here, this next one. Just in tight, though a good pitch from Harvey. Looked like it was there, just didn't grab that call. So Emmeline Bryan takes that first one. Now lines the 1 foul over to the right side as it rolls to the playground. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Heidenhofer on second, Clough on first. RBI chance for Brian. Harvey 50 pitches down. Here's 51 as that one nails Brian in the front shoulder. Just got away from Harvey. And bases in the blink of an eye are now loaded. One swing of the bat, if she's got the power behind it, can tie this thing up. So now Celia Grozen started things off 0 for 0 as she reached, I believe, on a sacrifice bunt. That first one right down the middle for strike number 1. Harvey just got to settle things down after the hit by pitch. That never helps your confidence, but with bases loaded, you can't lose your cool right now. Here's that 0-1. That's right there as well. Not taking the hacks right now is Grozen. Grozen needs a good swing, but held off on the first 2 good pitches she saw. She might not get another one like those 2. And this next one is going to be handled by Armstrong. And here, tapping on the first. The force out is there. And so now we're going to get time, as it seems like assistant coach of Strongsville, former math teacher for the Woodbury schools, now goes and talks to the middle infield umpire. Looks like no change will be made. They'll get that second out. 1 run will come in to score. First base will be empty, but the RBI counts. So now Dara, who's 0 for 1, comes in now. Number 9 in the batting order. That, of course, being the last bat in said order.
Here we go, Emma. Here we go.
Right fire, Scout.
The tying run up at the plate. Here's the pitch. This one a bunt. That'll be popped foul over to the left side. Awkward piece of contact off the bat. Melanie Fogarty tried to make the grab for it, just out of reach. So Brian aboard over at second, Clough over at third. 2 down here with 2 on and a 5-2 ball game. 0-1 to start things off with a failed bunt. And now here another bunt will not work out as this one goes right past the bat. 0-2 goes your count to Dara.
2 outs, 2 strikes, Shaker. On your toes. Get there.
So she'll hold off here in the swing and a miss. Couldn't bunt there on the 0-2. Of course, if you bunt and it goes foul once again, that's strike 3. So swings through this one, misses, and it'll remain a 5-2 score. So 1 will come across once again for Strongsville. Right now they're looking at an 0-1-0-1 pattern through the first. And Shaker Heights set to respond here in the bottom of the 4th. We're halfway through this one. Shaker Heights with the lead by 3. We're back with you here. Halfway through this one, Shaker up 5-2. First pitch is cut on and missed from number 4, Melanie Fogarty. Started things off 0 for 2, 1 strikeout to her name. Shaker Heights as a whole has struck out 5 times.
All right, Mustangs. Come on, Mustangs.
And that one
Nice job.
catching on the lower outside corner. 1 strikeout for Fogarty to this point. 1 also for Eleanor Miller and Amelia Chevreau, then 2 to Thornton. 0-2 spot here for Fogarty. She'll fight this one off, foul over to the right side. It'll go near the Lomond Elementary playground, but roll away. And offered a 23 pitches to this point through the first. Through the first 23, now 24 to get that second strikeout on Fogarty. But Heidenhofer, 24 pitches down, 16 strikes, looking at the 66% rate of strikes. And so now, yeah, 1, 2, 3 due up for the Red Raiders. One goes down swinging. But Emerson Miller to this point, 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Whenever Miller scores, it tends to be a threat. 1-0 to start things off on the count. That next pitch going to be cut on and fouled back. Popped over to the right side. Hit off of a couple of branches. And drop on down. One ball, one strike, one out. Bottom of the fourth, Shaker up 3. Here's that pitch. And ooh, awkward swing off of Emerson Miller. A defeated swing. Seemed to be delivered in slow motion. One ball, strikes. And now this one cut on, blasted out there into center. Center fielder. Oh, it'll tip off of the glove. Miller runs right into the umpire. She's going to try for third. If she's out, that'd be all on the umpire, but this one's going to be safe. Regardless, she ran right into the umpire between first and second. The umpire, the two umpires looking at each other, that regardless, that's going to be safe either way because he's going to feel guilty. They were smiling at each other saying, you can't call that out even if it was. Regardless, Miller was safe. So here in the bottom of the fourth, once again, Miller with a base knock that gets her board. Or I suppose maybe that goes as a defensive error once again. This one fouled back over. So Emerson Miller going to be 2 for 3, but actually reaching all 3 times. We'll see. She's scored on each time she's gotten on. Eleanor Miller in an RBI chance. 0-1 to start things off on the foul. This one up and in. He's called that before. That time, just not going to get the call. What did he say?
Oh, because he caught a one-hopper off the ground.
Oh, yeah. 0 for 1 at this point is Miller with 1 sacrifice. RBI fly. Here a swing and a miss from Miller. And it'll go 1 and 2. Emerson Miller standing on third, hands on the hips, set to take a lead as the pitch is delivered. Here comes that pitch, and the swing and the miss. Drop third strike. No, indeed. Eleanor Miller running it all out down the first baseline, but yeah, regardless, the runner will be out. So here, another RBI shot here for Molly Milligan. Milligan to this point, 1 for 1 with a walk as well. 2 runs scoring with her. Looking for her first RBI. First pitch catching on the outside half. Shaker doesn't want to leave that runner stranded. Especially not in scoring position. They've left a couple runners on. But here with Miller over at third, this one fouled back. Now in an 0-2 spot is Molly Milligan. Shaker wants that first run to come across against Heidenhofer, the starter and actually the complete game pitcher in the last game against these two rivalry opponents. Here's that 0-2. Milligan swings and misses for strike 3, and they'll leave 1 runner stranded in scoring position. So Shaker Heights unable to score any here in the bottom of the fourth, but now after the fourth inning, as always, we're going to send you right back over to me and tell you the story of the game. So right now, Shaker Heights has the lead 5-2, but mainly the story of the game, we're looking at 5 defensive errors for Strongsville. Though Shaker Heights has had 5 of their own hits, they're actually being out-hit by the Mustangs 6-5 in that category. Shaker Heights just really getting the contact they want, and as a result, the defense behind them, a young defense out of the Mustangs, has not been able to play the same game as Shaker. We saw the reason being as to why Shaker Heights lost that game on Friday was because of their own defensive errors. Right now, same kind of story for the Mustangs, a GCC rival for Shaker. Shaker last year was mercied by the Strongsville squad. This year looking to sweep them in the 2-game series. Here we're on the back half. They won that first game 4-2. But out of that, it was just a phenomenal pitching performance between Harvey and Heidenhofer. Heidenhofer in this game comes out in relief so far, has shut down the Shaker offense. But if Harvey keeps the Mustangs off the board for these final 3 innings, it'll just be too late. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We're going to send you down for the start of the 5th. Harvey back out on the mound as always. Pitched the full 7 against the Mustangs last time. 5-2 your score for the moment. 4-2 was your final last time. But if you look at the box score in that last game, it was once again, I mean, it was a defensive poor showing out of the Mustangs. 6 defensive errors, but the difference being Shaker Heights had half of that. They had 3 of their own. One from Chevreau, one from Miller, and one from Milligan. This first pitch going to be too far in tight to be ruled strike 1. It'll go ball 1. Nobody out as we're just getting things started here in the 5th inning. And now that next pitch, that'll catch. It'll just go across the word Strongsville, across the black jerseys of these Mustangs. The Mustangs in an all-black look, Shaker Heights in an all-black look as well. And this one catching on the outside half. The umpire, as we saw through those first 4 innings, he's calling the outside strike quite a lot. And this next pitch, ooh, on the 1-2, goes way up and outside. Towers over the head of Gentili and into the backstop. So it evens it up. Harvey here, 60 pitches down, 40 strikes, 66%. To start things off through the first 4. This next one's fouled away. We'll do it again at a 2-ball, 2 strike. Polo, your leadoff hitter for the Mustangs, starts things off 0 for 2. Only 1 strikeout so far from Harvey. Comes from the bottom of the order, Dara. Here, however, the swing and the miss on a drop 3rd strike. The throw on a first is right there for out number 1 on the top of the 5th. Well, can't exactly call that the announcer jinx. As I said, it was 1 strike, then turned to 2, as that actually helped out the squad. You can't really take off that strikeout, but you can add 1 on. Shaker. Scout Harvey on the mound has been a whole different team this season. No different here against the Mustangs in the first game, now here in the second game. Your new batter, number 3, Mraz, is also 0 for 2. However, also due up is Hartman behind her. She's 1 for 2. The pitch, this one lined out in the center. Eleanor Miller gets under it, makes a routine grab there for out number 2. So a good AB there for out number 1, then comes out, gets the 2-pitch fly out in the center. Beautiful stuff from Harvey to this point. 5-2. Shaker in the lead, looking to keep it that way to get their offense back up in the bottom of the 5th to extend on a 3-run deficit, though Heidenhofer has made it very, very difficult. This one down low, did she go? No, says the home plate umpire. Not just maybe, but held off. 1-1 even goes your count with 2 down, bases empty. As this one's popped foul over to the left side. Ooh, right off the roof of a car. Oh, not our car. And I would imagine it's not yours either. 1 ball, 2 strikes after the foul away to the left side. This next one going to be low and away. Tried to get her fishing at something down low, just didn't go for it. And so it goes 2-2. This one lined out in the left. Milligan unable to get to it. Opposite field base hit. Miller going to be the one to bring it in. The throw into second not going to be there as a standing 2-out double is there for Hartman. So Strongsville trying to threaten late here in the 5th inning.
Let's go, Gray.
So Shaker Heights wants to get out of this, get their offense back up with a 3-run lead if they can. As here Musar, who's 2 for 2 on the day, digs in. Here's the pitch. First one in there. Good pitch out of Harvey.
You're ready, Gray. Here we go, Gray.
So it's Emma Hartman up at second, but back here over to pitch is Grayson Musar. Here's that pitch. Ooh, he's called that. Just doesn't get that time. 1-1 even count, 2 down. Head coach Victoria Rosen trying to keep the dugout amped. This next one, gonna skip away from Gentile and back into the backstop. 2-1 goes your count now to Grayson Musar. Musar to the current time being batting around a .330 average.
Right fire, Scout.
Pitch is popped foul over to the right side. Once again, near that playground. So it's basically, if you foul it over the right side, you're in danger of hitting a kid. If you're fouling it over the left side, you're in danger of hitting a car. Basically, you want to hit it fair here at the ballpark, as that one's going to be low once again. So payoff pitch with 2 down.
Let's go, Gray.
2 outs, 2 strikes, Shaker, on your toes.
So Shaker Heights needs to be set for anything on the payoff. 2 down, runner on third. Here it comes. This one sent down the third baseline, just rolls foul.
Still in there, Gray. Here we go.
So Emma Hartman will stay put over at third. Again, reached from second to third off of the wild pitch that skipped away from Gentile into the backstop. One more of those, and it's going to be a 5-3 ball game. Though for the current moment, 5-2. Shaker Heights leading here at their home base at Lomond Elementary School. Overcast skies remain above. Here's the payoff. Once again, fouled back. So well fought out here by Grayson Musar, number 6, the catcher in today's game for Strongsville. Big hacks out of the right-handed batter's box.
Button, Gray. Here we go, Gray.
On your toes, Shaker. You ready?
But now she comes back into the right-handed batter's box. What will be delivered once again from Harvey? Here it comes. This one right down the middle. This popped up. Chevreau calls off. Armstrong makes that grab. And once again, Harvey puts up a 0 on inning at number 5. Only 2 runs coming across, but 7 hits for Strongsville. Shaker Heights with 5. We'll see if they can tie that department when we come back. Though Shaker Heights defense really, really strong to this point. 0 defensive errors. Maybe they can take advantage of some Strongsville errors. They've got 5. We'll tell you more when we come back for the bottom of the 5th. Here we are to the bottom of the 5th, and due up for the Red Raiders is your pitcher of the day for Shaker, Scout Harvey. Behind her, Juliana Gentile and Amelia Chevreau. Harvey takes this first one for ball 1 on the outside half. Shaker Heights up 3, 5-2, your current score. Again, we haven't, I don't think, called a game this whole season for softball. Oh, this one popped up in foul territory. It's caught. Harvey goes down on 2 pitches for out number 1. But yeah, we haven't called a single softball game this whole season. It hasn't ended in a mercy rule. Now that I say that, Strongsville's going to get like 20 runs in the next inning. But yeah, when we were talking to head coach Rosen, she was telling us that this is the kind of game that we want to be here for. Luckily, Shaker Heights baseball didn't have a game, so, well, we're here for you. Shaker Heights baseball practicing right now. They're trying to get out of their own slump. This one called on the outside half. Once again, not scared to call that outside strike. He's at home plate umpire until he took it, so it goes 0-2. But yeah, baseball in the slump. They're yet to win in the month of May. Here, a swing and a miss from Gentili. And Gentili tells something to Chevreau here, and hopefully Chevreau able to take a little bit of knowledge from Gentili's AB into this. But yeah, as a whole right now, Shaker Heights baseball yet to win it in the month of May. As right now they're looking at an 0-6 record to this point. The softball team, on the other hand, looking at 2-1 with a win to Bedford, a win to Cleveland Heights, then a loss to Solon on Friday. Here's the pitch. This down low, taken by Chevreau. 1-1 even goes your count to the sophomore. Yeah, Shaker Heights softball right now 12-5 on the season. This next pitch sent over to the second baseman. Throw is right there, and it's right on time. So Shaker Heights goes down 1-2-3. I want to say it's the first time that happened. Might not have been, but it really does feel like it. Shaker Heights still with the lead, as it is 5-2 after 5. Here we go to the top of the 6th. Strongsville down to their final 6 outs. First pitch is there for number 1. Strongsville with some good base hits, 7 out of them to this point. Though their defensive errors just not able to counter that amount of hits. The defensive errors up to 5 to this point. Harvey right now looking to once again enter into the win column. Here a swing and a miss on the outside half, goes for strike 2. Harvey right now as a record is 12-4. Only, I believe, 1 non-decision. Don't know who that went to, or who that should have went to. This one sent over to the right side. It'll go foul. Let me check and see what game that was. See if I can find it. This one sent over to the right side. Chevreau just mishandles it. It'll sneak out into the right field where Harper Thornton remains. Delivers that one in. But it was April 11th against Menor I suppose that they didn't get that they got the no decision. It was Harvey to only pitch 3 innings, as it was already a little bit out of reach. They threw in Arth. This one outside, taken in by Gentili, almost escaped, but good keep by today's catcher.
On your toes, infield. Turn 2.
5-2, current score between the Red Raiders and the Mustangs. Shaker Heights and Strongsville out here under gray skies on a Monday evening.
Hum it in there,
I also want to call it a late afternoon. Runner on first is Heidenhofer. This one popped up, getting under it. Here's Armstrong making the grab on the infield. Had to range in a little bit. And there you go. Armstrong here in the top of the 6th will deliver that first out. Here, Harvey needs to tie up the cleats. We'll get time called. Armstrong pacing around in the infield. She'll head back over to first.
Hum it in there, Scout.
Defense has remained consistent out here for the Red Raiders. No changes to this point. Couple maybe what you could call errors out there on the middle infield. Maybe Chevreau with a couple, but it's been nothing crazy.
Come on, Emmy. Come on, Emmy.
Neither game changers Strongsville and Shaker Heights didn't have it ruled as an error, so I guess they didn't rule it as such. They just called it a single out in the right field. Both, however, call that Strongsville is out hitting the Red Raiders to this point.
All right, Emmy. Let's go, Emmy.
And Strongsville has about 5 defensive errors of their own that has resulted in the deficit we have at a Shaker Heights winning deficit of 3. 2 strikes after that foul away. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Got him swinging here, Scout.
Heidenhofer,
Let's go.
the runner on first here in the top of the 6th. Here's that pitch. This one fouled back into the caging again. Good pitching out here from Harvey. Harvey to 91 pitches, 62 strikes.
Let's go, Emmy. Let's go, Emmy.
Brian here.
Fire, Scout.
Emily and Brian 0 for 0 to this point. Oh, that one called. Strike 3. Down low. Tough call. Must have ruled that it just broke after coming over home plate, though. You can tell the first base coach for Strongsville didn't exactly like that call, but
Scout, Shaker, on your
got to
toes.
live with it. So
Nice pitch.
she's now 0 for 1. Here Grozen comes in. She's 0 for 1 as well. 0 for 1 with 2 RBIs, however. Was hit by pitch as well.
Nice.
This next one just kept in front by Juliana Gentili. Great effort there, keeping it out in front. If that one had gotten past Heidenhofer, would have moved into scoring position up to second. 2 down, 2-1 count, 5-2 score. Top of the 6th of a 7-inning game.
Toes, infield.
This one up, up high, just barely. Home plate umpire, losing a little bit of consistency.
Here we go. Here we go.
And now this one lined over to right. That's going to drop foul. Just curled a little bit, maybe caught a little bit of the wind that pushed it over to the right side. At first it looked like it would have gone fair, and without wind, probably would have been.
2 outs, 2 strikes, Shaker. On your toes. Get this. On the corner here, Scout.
Payoff pitch here is fouled back into the caging, over to the Strongsville dugout. Maybe a little friendly fire that time. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So another tough payoff pitch to be delivered here. Harvey's 99th. Gets a swing and a miss. So just under 100 pitches. Harvey has gone 6 innings. You can imagine she'll return for the 7th, considering fatigue just doesn't typically come in to factor. And so the Red Raiders maintain their 3-run lead. It's 5-2 after 5.5. First pitch to Armstrong, popped into the caging behind home plate, ruled ball. Or excuse me, ruled the ball. Going as strike number 1. I can hear that next pitch. Ooh, ruled for ball 1. Umpire beginning to lose the consistency. It happens when you go deeper into a ball game. You see more pitches. You can just see some more mistakes that can creep in. That next pitch, sent foul over to left side. It'll one hop off of a car. Just lost a little momentum. That's a second hit on that black car. Hit off of the roof, then in on the side. I tell you, if you're going to park over here, you need some insurance. You need some good insurance. And no one here knows whose car that is. Might be one of the Shaker players. I don't know. Regardless, it's 1 and 2. Nobody out, no runners on. 5-2 ball game, Shaker in the lead. They want some more insurance before going to the top of the 7th where Harvey looks to close things out. This is our last time calling softball for the regular season. Next week, we're expecting to be with you for at least the first playoff game. Their swing and a miss from Armstrong goes for strike 3.
All right, Mustangs, here we go, Mustangs!
But we're not sure if we're going to be able to make that game next week on Thursday. That's baseball's very first game away at North Olmsted.
Way to watch it. Way to focus.
But regardless, Shaker Heights softball will need to get to that Thursday game first. Here, mishandled by the first baseman, but she'll scoop it back up. Hartman there for the second out. Top of the order we go. Melanie Fogarty back up. She's 0 for 3 to start things off. She has 2 strikeouts to the name. Thornton all the same. So very top of the order, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Very bottom of the order, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Here Fogarty pops this one, and it'll just drop foul over to the right side. Both the first baseman Hartman and the catcher Musar were trying to get over to it. Just couldn't make that play for the third and final out in the bottom of the 6th. Fogarty looking for a big time hit here, trying to keep the Shaker offense hitting. This one fouled back in the caging once more. Not sure why. There's an empty bottle of body armor in the caging to the left side of home plate. Can't see it on your camera, but it's over by the Red Raider dugout. Not sure why that's there. Here a swing and a miss out of Fogarty. That'll be out number 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. But 3 outs to go for the Mustangs. 3 outs, but 3 runs to make up. Shaker Heights up 5-2 as we go into the final inning number 7. Harvey back on the mound to close things out. Here is pitch number 100 from her, and it's fouled back. There to start things off with a strike here in the new inning. So through 100 pitches, 68 strikes out of Scout Harvey. We're looking at 32 balls here. This next one bunted down the line, and it'll just roll foul. That almost had it. Just curled over to the left side. Yeah, Mustangs are a very bunt-heavy team. Makes you question how much the coaches doubt their actual batting potential, considering a lot of the lower part of the order in specific goes to bunt. So you wonder if the coaches just tell them not to take these hacks and just go for that different approach. This next one outside, so from 0-2 to 1-2. Out as we're just getting started here in the final inning. And that one ruled. Strike 3. Scout Harvey racking up a strikeout past 100 pitches. Still handling this game just fine. 1 run to come across for the Mustangs in the second, 1 in the fourth. Since then, no scoring. Looking to keep that the same way. Oh, real defensive mistakes to this point. That first pitch catching in the middle, a little bit maybe up high, but ruled that for an 0-1 count. Harvey only with apparently around 8 hits against her. 2 runs coming that were all earned.
Way to jog a lap to get that one, Jules. Let's go, Scout. Nothing new. Nail it apart.
5 strikeouts from Scout Harvey, but this one foul tipped into the glove of Gentili, and that's strikeout number 6. Back-to-back strikeouts to open things up here in the top of the 7th, and now the Mustangs are down to their final out here at Shaker Heights.
2 outs, Shaker, on your toes.
First pitch, this one low and in tight to the batter Mraz. 0 for 3 to start things off. Hasn't struck out, all been in play.
Coming in there, Scout.
Harvey with her 108th pitch. And that's outside.
You're too quiet, Shaker. Let's go. We need this out.
2-0 to start things out here in the new AB. This one down low. Got her fishing. I had a pitch not hitting that zone. And Shaker is in good position right now
On your toes.
to close this thing out. This next one grounded over the left side. That's strike 2 as it's foul. So the Mustangs down to their final strike here in the top of the 7th. 5-2, Shaker Heights leads. Looks like that could be your final with 1 final strike on pitch 111. This one sent in play. Third baseman Fogarty mishandles it. The throw won't be in time. That's the way it goes sometimes, Fogarty. Really frustrated with the mishap. Well, Shaker this close to getting out of a game with no defensive errors. And there you go. First defensive error right there. Now we're going to get a mound visit. We're going to step aside just an extra second here. We'll be right back with you. 5-2, Shaker in the lead. Strongsville still down to 1 out. This next pitch catches on the outside half. Hartman 2 for 3 on the day. Is your third batter in the order. This next pitch up high. Taken for ball 1. 1-1 even count, 2 down. Runner on first is Mraz. Reached on a defensive error for Melanie Fogarty. This one tapped over to Amelia Chevreau. Mishandles it, but the flip on the first is in time for out number 3. Tough call to make for the infield ump, but he'll rule it in the home team's favor, and the Red Raiders are going to win this one by a final of 5-2. So once again, Shaker Heights. Oh, excuse me. Looks like our camera froze.